Hi everybody, I have a confession. Oblivion was my first ever open world RPG. My first gaming experience like this, the entire reason that this channel exists in the first place, the reason why I'm so passionate about these type of games, the game that made me prioritize open world fictional life instead of real life. Without Oblivion, I wouldn't be here. Imagine the devastation that would send around the YouTube community. Let that image process.
I don't even know who you are.
We all remember our first time experiencing a video game of a certain genre. It looks like we finally have some very exciting news about the upcoming Oblivion Remake. This theory has been floating around the internet for quite a while now, and I've even made a few videos on this subject myself, but you know how it is. Can you believe anything you see on the internet? If your answer is yes, then you need to see my video on Avowed. When I first launched those videos, the news was that there would be a remake in Unreal Engine 5 for Oblivion, but we never got an official release date or timeline. It was assumed that it would be sometime this year, but you couldn't guarantee it. Well, it looks like more and more news has come out now, and we can all finally start to get excited about the remake, knowing it's going to happen. In this video, I want to just provide a quick update on everything we know, when we can expect to get our hands on the remake, and basically what it means for Bethesda's future. So, no more lollygagging, let's get into it and go over the hotly anticipated new Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remake. Also, quick side note, if you are new here and you enjoy discussions about video games or want to hear other gaming related news, please consider subscribing. Alright, let's get into it. So, for some time, we've had leaks about Oblivion receiving a full remake in Unreal Engine 5. Originally, news was shared by consistent leaker Nate the Hate, who has a wonderful track record in terms of getting things right. He got the South of Midnight release date right. He got the Doom release as well. In fact, he was even right about the Nintendo Switch 2 announcement. The first main leak was when Xbox was going through the FTC court case and they had a massive leak. Like on this document that I've put on screen now, they listed every upcoming title from Bethesda Studios, and in general, it's been pretty much spot on. And right there you can see not just the Oblivion remaster, but also talk of a Fallout 3 remaster, which is something I'll discuss in another video. So just a few days ago, Nate the Hate made a post where he confirmed that the Oblivion remake announcement and launch could be dropping in April. And then this was followed up with an article from VGC. The title of the article, Bethesda's Oblivion Unreal Engine 5 remake could be releasing sooner than you think. Now, according to a noted insider Nate the Hate, the Oblivion remake is set for a reveal in the coming weeks, a claim VGC has corroborated with our own sources. Nate claims the game will likely release before June, while sources have told VGC it could arrive as soon as next month. The Oblivion remake is understood to be developed by Virtuos. Established in 2004, Virtuos is one of the largest game makers in the world. It focuses on supporting the development of major AAA games or bringing existing titles to new platforms. The company has previously worked on franchises including Call of Duty, Tomb Raider, Dark Souls, Bioshock, Battlefield, Uncharted, and Horizon, and is currently supporting Konami's development of the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. I'm excited for that, by the way. The Oblivion remake is reportedly fully remade with Unreal Engine 5, with 6 reworked gameplay systems: stamina, sneaking, blocking, archery, hit reaction, and the HUD. So at this point, it looks like the game will be released before June. That's literally no time, and according to VGC, it could be announced and released as soon as next month. That is incredible news, and it's so quick. The original Oblivion released on March the 20th of 2006, so it would make sense to release it around that date, but the main point is, it's coming and coming soon. Now, there are suggestions that it could be a part of the Nintendo Switch 2 showcase, and perhaps we could see it released for that console. Some people have stated that the Switch 2 couldn't handle the technology from Unreal Engine 5, but the original Switch had titles such as Witcher 3, Kingdom Come Deliverance, and Hogwarts Legacy ported over. of which I own all of them. And if you have a Switch and you don't have those games, I highly recommend them. They're absolutely incredible ports, so I don't consider that impossible at all. Imagine me of today visiting the young me who played Oblivion back in 2006 and telling him that one day he would get to play this game with real-life graphics on a portable console. He would say, "How did you get into my house? I'm calling the cops, and do I really look that ugly in the future?" Yes, but you're missing the point, kid. It's about the Oblivion remake. Actually, you know what? I'll leave young me in the past. So in short, Oblivion Remake is all but done. It will be a full remake on Unreal Engine 5 and could be announced any second. Knowing my luck, you'll be watching this video and Todd will have announced it 5 minutes before the video goes live.
Who's laughing now?
Now, I just want to make a few comments on this. First of all, this is Bethesda's first foray outside of the creation engine, so I sort of see this as a test for Bethesda. Now, I did a video on this subject of how a previous developer at Bethesda said that they should switch to Unreal Engine 5. This ongoing debate has gone on for years about how Bethesda should change to a more modern engine, as the Gamebryo engine, or now the creation engine, just isn't modern enough. It's the reason you get so many loading screens in Starfield, bugs, limited animations. Basically, it has these negative aspects that hold Bethesda back from reaching today's standards. But also, on the other hand, you have the modding, the ability to interact with and pick up any in-game item, and it's an engine that they know well, so there's no transition time. So whether they stick or twist is still on the fence. Nobody knows if switching engines would be the right move for them, but with this new remake being done on Unreal Engine 5, they get to earn some extra money for a game release whilst also launching one of their titles on a different engine, and then they can gauge the fans' reaction. If it's great, it opens up the possibility of them trying new engines for future releases. If it fails, then they can just lay all the blame at Virtuo's doorstep and stick to the creation engine. It accomplishes many things at once. We don't have much information on what is changing in the game, except that the stamina system was modified to be less frustrating for the player, making the knockdowns that occur when stamina is depleted more difficult to activate through changes in calculation methods. They've also said that the HUD was changed to make it easier to understand and more aesthetically pleasing to young players. Hit reactions were also added to improve the response to damage inflicted on the player and NPCs. And finally, archery was improved to make it more playable and modern in both third and first person viewpoints. I'm sure it will be a good remake, but my main questions are in regards to the dungeons. I loved Skyrim's dungeons, but Oblivion's were incredibly copy and paste. They were all AI generated and it was very easy to get lost. If I posted a video about a dungeon in Skyrim, fans of that game could guess the dungeon. Bleak Falls Barrow as an example, they would know, oh, I know which one you're in. Now, if it was a dungeon in Oblivion, you probably wouldn't be able to tell which one I was in because they all look so similar. So my biggest hope is that in this remake, they shake that up and make each dungeon a little unique, using different assets, different layouts, and just basically copy the model from Fallout 4 and Skyrim. If they do that, oh boy, then it's really going to be good. Now, will there be modability? Well, it's Unreal Engine 5, so we can't be sure, but we all know how important mods are for Bethesda titles. Back in the day, they had that option just for fun and for the love of fans. The fact that it made their games' lifespans longer was just a bonus, but now, with the Creation Club, they actually make money from the mods, so I'm assuming they will hope to implement these in every game that they release going forward, remake or original. But there's been no news announced on this yet. But for regular fans of The Elder Scrolls, this is fantastic news. It's now been 14 years since we received any type of Elder Scrolls game, and to finally see it happen, albeit a remake, is very exciting. I know it is technically a remake of something that we've already had, but as it's been redone from the ground up on a new engine with today's graphics, we can expect it to feel like a brand new game. Now the question is, does it need a remake? You see, Oblivion was revolutionary in 2006, but its graphics have now aged significantly. A remake with modern textures, lighting and animations would allow players to experience Cyrodiil in breathtaking detail. In Unreal Engine 5, the game could look photorealistic, and advanced character models would bring the world to life in a way that the original engine simply couldn't. And whilst Oblivion's NPCs felt alive back in the day, today they seem robotic, and they're better known for their meme material as opposed to immersive aspects. Like, people are playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Red Dead Redemption 2 today, and then have them switch to Oblivion of 2006. New players of today can see the drop-off. It was an extraordinary game for the time, but nowadays it does look very dated. A remake would allow them to bring this up to modern standards. The combat was a step up from Morrowind, but it still feels clunky compared to modern action RPGs of today. A remake could improve the melee combat, improve hit detection, add physics-based spell casting, and incorporate dynamic enemy reactions, making fights feel more rewarding and engaging. The user interface will also be improved to make it more user-friendly. I think when they're saying this, if you played Oblivion, when you had like a quest marker, it kind of left a lot to you to figure out. So it would be like your objective is in this sort of area. And then Skyrim had your item is here. Like, it had an arrow pointing exactly where you needed to go. So you never had to really think outside the box. I'm assuming they'll probably copy that over to this game. But the point is, the game really could use a remake. I mean, at this point, the last Elder Scrolls game is 14 years old. So if you think about how many people game today, there will be millions of young people who have never played an Elder Scrolls title. They'll know of games like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Elden Ring, and maybe even the Elder Scrolls Online, but they won't know what the hype is about an offline Elder Scrolls or what it's about. In fact, the other day I met someone in a restaurant. He was much younger than me, and he asked me what I did on YouTube. I said, I make videos about Bethesda games, like Skyrim. And he said, I've never played Skyrim, not heard of it. I love Elden Ring though. And I was like, man, people don't even know who Elder Scrolls is anymore. Another thing is I often have to explain how it's so hard to ask newer gamers of today to try and play older titles. Like, nowadays, games are so streamlined, user-friendly, and the graphics are incredible. So when you ask them to go back and play a Fallout New Vegas, Oblivion, or Morrowind, they just can't adapt. Whereas people like myself see this masterpiece of a game, they just see a bad graphic video game with clunky combat, dodgy voice acting, and no sprint button. I remember trying to explain to my friend that to select a weapon in Oblivion, you have to open up your menu and select the one you want. He was like, every time? I was like, yeah, that's how it was back then. Like, you kids nowadays don't know how good you have it. Like, back in my day, oh no, I'm turning into one of those people. To suffer in gaming is the best part. How can you have fun if you aren't stressed and frustrated? That's integral. I'm just kidding, but the main thing is the remake of Oblivion will give newer gamers a chance to experience the magic that we did in 2006, but on a level they can appreciate. They won't have to adapt to worse UI, glitches, or clunky combat. They will be able to hop from any newer title of current times and quickly get to grips with this new remake. Then they can experience the magic of Oblivion just like we did and understand why there is so much love for this game. Some may even go back and play the original afterwards. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2's success saw many go back to play the original Kingdom Come Deliverance and try it again, despite not enjoying it when it first came out. With The Elder Scrolls 6 still in development, an Oblivion remake could reignite excitement within the series, introducing new players to the world of Tamriel whilst giving veteran fans a fresh way to experience a beloved classic. A remake of Oblivion wouldn't just be a visual overhaul, it would be an opportunity to refine gameplay, deepen immersion, and bring back one of the greatest RPGs ever made into the modern era. I, for one, am extremely excited, so roll up your sleeves, book your time off work, and get ready, because any second now it will be announced, and sometime in the next 3 months we will all be back to the land of Cyrodiil to find the Amulet of Kings and get to relive that amazing Dark Brotherhood questline all over again. Anyway, that's the news. Oblivion Remake confirmed. Could be as soon as next month and definitely before June. The last thing I want to say is, don't forget about Skyblivion. Skyblivion is a fan-made mod in the Skyrim engine with today's graphics. I have the gameplay on screen now. These fans have spent over 13 years meticulously remaking the entirety of the Oblivion game in the Skyrim engine, and it does look incredible. They have dedicated so much time to this, and it's all going to be for free. They were finally ready to launch this year. I just worry that the Oblivion Remake will take away some of their shine, and I want to say, I feel a bit of their pain. I guess I just feel bad because they spent the last 13 years on it, and this year it's finally ready to come out, and then we have another Oblivion Remake. Like, you can't make it up. It will have negative impacts on the amount of people who play Skyblivion now, but what can you do? The Fallout London team went through this pain too when Bethesda released that update for Fallout 4, literally a few days before they dropped their mod, and it scuppered their plans. I'm not suggesting Bethesda are doing this stuff on purpose. I'm sure it's just bad timing, and at the end of the day, although we love the fan-made mods, Bethesda do have the rights to do whatever they want as they're actually their games. But I will still be playing Skyblivion regardless though, as it looks incredible. But what do you guys think? Are you looking forward to the remake? Do you think Skyblivion will surpass it, or will this take some of the shine off of its release? Do you think it could come out on the Switch too? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please give it the thumbs up, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I'm Av Gaming, where we do video game analysis, identifying what makes great games great and what could make good games great as well. Thanks for watching. Av out.